Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is the Top Delinquent Chapter 6, and this one is titled, Iida is Shook. It was now the end of school, and he cornered you yet again. Miss Lynn, I insist you come to the library with me to study this evening, he said as he bowed stiffly, then held a hand out to you invitingly. Ew, you said bluntly. No thanks, I'm allergic to study. Please, he said as he looked up at you, setting his jaw as he stared intently at you, then straightened. You just don't give up, do you? He said with an annoyed sigh. Alright, if I go with you, will you leave me alone after that? It is my duty to not give up on you or leave you alone, Miss Lynn, but I think that you will find studying most delightful. Pfft, you think a cactus as a dildo would bring me much more pleasure than studying? You deadpanned at him. No, it would cause you a trip to the hospital, is what it would do, he replied just as bluntly. You cracked a smile. Gotta hand it to you, Iida. You didn't even flinch at my comment just then. Usually sexually charged comments throw you off. I'm adaptable, Miss Lynn, he said as he adjusted his glasses and gestured for you to take the lead down the hall to the library to study. Which subject do you wish to study first? Iida asked softly as he sat down at the library desk with you opposite. None, he replied in a soft tone. Iida shook his head. Which subject are you most lacking in? He asked again as he opened up a spare notebook and slid it across to you, passing you a pen as well. None, you replied again with a smirk. So you're telling me that you were in the teacher's lounge up to no good for no reason last night? Iida then said as he stared you down from across the desk. So you're assuming it was me that broke into the school up to no good last night then? You replied with air quotation marks before crossing your arms across your chest and glaring at him. Well, the boot fits, Miss Lynn, he said pointedly as he set his jaw again. Are you profiling me, Iida? You replied smugly. Let me guess. I'm a delinquent with failing grades. Couldn't care less about my future. Iida slightly raised an eyebrow as if to say, well, yes, everything fits so far, as he averted his eyes slightly. And what? I come from a broken home as well? Is that what you're thinking? Abusive parents? You said, your voice trailing off as Iida looked back into your eyes. The look in his eye told you that he had just connected all the dots of the puzzle and had figured you out. How is your arm, Miss Lynn? He suddenly asked in a hushed tone. It's fine, you snapped softly. May I see it? He asked quietly. You quickly pushed your sleeve up to show him how the bruise was fading. See? It's fine. It was only a little knock when I slipped on the ladder, you said stiffly. Iida looked at the bruise and then back to your face. That bruise was there before you slipped on the ladder that day, Miss Lynn, he said in a low, even tone. Your heart started pounding. Miss Lynn, I can help you, he said softly as he continued to watch your face. Trying to hide the fear in your eyes, you sat forwards and rested your arms on the desk, staring Iida down. I don't need your help, you hissed lowly. You don't know me, and you've got me all wrong. I think that I am on the mark, Miss Lynn, he said sternly. Oh yeah? You retorted coyly. You sure you're not just pissed because you can't get the top marks in class? How do you know that? Iida replied with surprise. You were sneaking into the teacher's lounge to find out all of the student numbers, weren't you? Iida, I swear to God, I'm going to buy you a trampoline since you like to jump to conclusions so frickin' much, you shot at him. How else would I know that you're not the top student if I didn't know people's student numbers? Iida sat there and studied your face for a few minutes. You would need to know the top student's number, he replied after thinking a minute. Exactly, you snapped, pulling your student card from your pocket and slapping it down on the desk in front of him. Iida looked down at it and his mouth fell wide open with surprise. You are student 22467? He asked, absolutely floored with this revelation. Yes, bish, so shut up. You know nothing about who I am, and I'm done with your profiling. So unless you want to get on my level, sod off, you growled in a hushed tone as you stood up to leave. Miss Lynn, Iida said quickly as he got up and walked around the desk to block your path. I need to test your claim. The hell? Okay, whatever. Test me, you said as you crossed your arms and waited for him. 10 times 5, minus 2, plus 140, Iida said quickly. 188, you replied instantly. Iida's jaw dropped. Miss Lynn, please accept my humblest apologies. I was out of line, and it was remiss of me to be so presumptuous about you and your life. He bowed low, keeping his head down deep to respect you. You weren't sure why, but the fact that Iida was apologising so fervently really struck a chord with you. No one had ever apologised to you before. You were always the problem, always the one doing the apologising, and even if anyone did apologise to you, it felt like it was half-assed, and you felt like Iida, of all people, was the last person who should be apologising to you, considering how you treated him. You looked up and away quickly, and bit the inside of your mouth to stop yourself from crying, balling your fists up protectively. "Stop it, you idiot," you whispered hoarsely. "Get up." Iida straightened and looked at you. "But tell me, Miss Lynn, why were you in the school last night? I know it was you, so please tell me the truth." "I was helping DF with something," he replied stiffly. "You're going to snitch, aren't you?" You added in a dead tone. "I won't say anything unless asked directly," he replied as he turned and walked back to his desk. "You have my word." "Why are you so nice to me?" you blurted out. "Stop being so nice, I don't deserve it." "I am not being nice. I am merely treating you with the respect you deserve," Iida said as he looked back up at you. "Now, if you will excuse me, I do have study to do, so that I can take your place as top of class." And there ends chapter 6. Stay tuned for chapter 7 coming tomorrow.